Pleased to be joined by Matt Brown, the mental performance coach with the Flames here at the Combine in Buffalo. First of all, Matt, it's certainly been a busy week for the Flames hockey ops department, but just in general, how have you enjoyed the experience of coming back to Buffalo this year?
It's great, actually. What I find is that these kids are so polished and mature that it's kind of an affirming thing just to see that the next generation coming up is just there's so much promise there.
So when we look at prospects, we look at goals and assists, but there's also a human being, a young man behind the player that a team might be so fortunate to draft come the end of the month in Los Angeles. Just give me a sense of just some of the work that you do, even leading up to the Combine, just to try to get a sense on maybe some of the personalities that you're going to interact with this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, it used to be a very basic trying to identify red flags, so reasons why it might be kind of a disadvantage to draft a kid, but there's just way more layers to it than that, because you want to know are there things developmentally there that might be risks for both performance and mental health going forward, but there also are some green flags. Is a kid exceptional in terms of their competitiveness, their mental toughness, their work ethic, those things, and so we try and flesh all of that out, and we do it partly here. This is almost like a last part of the process, because we talk to their coaches, their trainers, their managers, their billet families, and get a real kind of textured view of each of them and how they behave and how they think and how they treat the people around them, and it allows you to get a real sense of who the person is and how that influences how they perform and treat the people around them.
It's interesting. Yeah, you mentioned it. It's almost like we've heard the line tying a bow on it here at the Combine with respect to preparing for the draft. But, in your work with the hockey operations department, I mean, how much kind of guidance do they give you? Do they give you kind of ideas on what they want to look for in terms of your conversations with players, or is that something that you've kind of crafted over your time?
Yeah, they've been really great with me in terms of kind of giving me an opportunity to say here are some of the things that we should be taking a closer look at, and Todd Button, our head of amateur scouting, he's been great in terms of putting stock in the human element of it, and I feel like just kind of year on year we keep just doing a better job of finding the kinds of human beings that we want to bring into our family, because our culture with the Calgary Flames, it's a big deal for us, and it's really strong right now, and so we want to be protective of that.
Over the course of the week, do you almost notice a shift in demeanor from the players as well? Whereas, say, on a Monday morning, they might be a little bit more nervous, not sure what to expect. Whereas now we're speaking to you on Thursday, it's almost like these guys are savvy veterans.
Yeah, they settle in, and it's it also is a testament to what kind of learners they are, because they kind of figure out over the course of the week how to interview well and what sorts of things that they might say that they don't get the kind of reaction that they want to earlier on. And so there's a lot of these kids, they're special psychologically, and so their ability to kind of read the room and figure out the best way of communicating, it gets better each one that they do.
When you talk to players and when you talk to prospects, I'm sure they've all had media training. They all kind of, I'm sure, have prepared kind of how to respond to certain things. But is there anything that you can do to maybe help suss out little nuggets of wisdom or knowledge or personality here or there from some of the kids as you get to meet them in person now?
Yeah, I mean, there are some teams that will try and make the players uncomfortable and put them under pressure. In my experience, the more you make them comfortable, and just talk to them like people in a collegial way, you get them more settled in there, more relaxed, and then you just get a more authentic version of the person, and that's, at the end of the day, that's what you want is just to get a real feel for them. So the more they're at ease, the better chance there is that you'll get that out of them.
And when you look ahead to the draft, I mean, that's kind of the full circle moment where you've worked all year to kind of get to know these players, and then 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 of the players that are here at the Combine might end up being Flames property in the matter of weeks. Just maybe speak to just the sense of that full circle moment coming together when it does come time to find out who indeed the Flames select at the draft.
Yeah, it's In a way, like over the course of the year, I get to know the players really well, the personalities, their stories, and so the draft itself is bittersweet in a lot of ways because they're continuously these kids. I think like, "Hey, this is a great young man." They keep coming off of the board. So like, oh, I like that guy. Oh, I like that guy. But on the flip side of that is when you get one of the ones that you really liked.
Yeah.
A few years ago when we got Matt Coronado, he was the one that I just thought was just special, special person, special psychologically. And when you get to when we get to call that name, those are the moments that are really really rewarding.
Let me ask you about that. Was that kind of connection with Matt, was that almost like something that you noticed right off the hop? Or was it a case of you really kind of got maybe more of a feel for him when you started having regular conversations with him and those people close to him?
Well, I think most people, like, the moment you meet Matt, like, it's just wow, like he's a great human being. But then for me, when you dig into more of the layers, you realize like the way he thinks, how intelligent he is, how purposeful and dedicated he is, like all that stuff starts to come through, and you get more and more excited about the prospect of picking that player. And so yeah, so when you do, it's those are awesome moments.
Overall, just to wrap, when you leave here, I know you're probably out of town here in the next couple of days, but when your work at the Combine is finished, I mean, what are you hoping to provide Todd, Craig Conroy, the hockey operations staff, and what are you hoping to come away from Buffalo with?
So we meet intermittently throughout the year, going through our lists and talking about players, and that process really never stops until the draft. So I'll go back and I'll add some notes from this process to what I've already kind of reported on players, but also more and more intel will continue to come in, and then I go through that and see if it kind of meshes with what we already have, and if there are other kind of pieces or layers to add, because we'll go right until the week before the draft. We go all through it again, kind of kid by kid, and so yeah, so that's the kind of next part of the process, is the really trying to get it all to merge and crystallize into the list that we want to go into the draft with.